Okay, let's set the scene. We're in Giza, Egypt, El Saf City. It's about 9:00 p.m., sometime in 2024. Picture this. Ahmed Rashid, he's just settled back in Egypt after working away, and tonight he's actually doing something different. He's kicking back at a local cafe, relaxing with some friends he doesn't get to see very often. Just a normal evening.
Exactly. A bit of decompression. He lives in the family building, right? Ahmed's on the second floor. His younger brother, Kareem, and Kareem's wife, Bashayer, they're downstairs on the first.
So, very close proximity.
Very. But that quiet evening, that normal family picture, it just gets completely shattered around 9:30 p.m.
Right, the phone call.
Yeah. Ahmed's phone rings. It's Bashayer, his sister-in-law, and she sounds, well, completely frantic. She tells him Kareem is incredibly sick, like critically ill.
So Ahmed and his friends, they don't hesitate, they drop everything.
Instantly. It's a short trip, less than 10 minutes back to the house. Bashayer lets Ahmed in, and he just vanishes inside.
And the friends are just left waiting outside.
Yeah, waiting, probably imagining the worst. And then, maybe 10 minutes later, the door flies open again. And this is where it really shifts.
How so?
Ahmed reappears, but he's struggling. He's got Kareem, his brother, slung over his shoulder. Kareem is just completely limp, unconscious.
Oh, wow, okay.
Ahmed yells at Bashayer, tells her to stay put, watch the kids, they're tiny, just 1 and 3 years old. And he tells his friends, hospital, now.
They race there, get to the nearest ER pretty quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
But it's too late. The doctors, they take one look. Kareem is declared dead on arrival.
Devastating. But then things take another turn, right, at the hospital.
They do. Because of the medical team, they're sharp. They start noticing things that just don't add up for a sudden medical death.
Like what did they see?
Well, first, there's vomit on Kareem's trousers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that could suggest maybe poisoning, some kind of acute illness. But then they look closer. His T-shirt, spotless, perfectly clean. And stranger still, his face. It seems like it had been recently washed. They could actually smell soap.
Wait, soap, in that kind of emergency, who stops to wash someone's face?
Exactly. That's the red flag. It screams staging. It suggests someone tried to clean up to alter the scene before getting him to the hospital.
So the doctors knew right away this wasn't straightforward.
Immediately. They suspected it was an unnatural death. They did the right thing, alerted security forces straight away.
Okay, so the police get involved now. They examine Kareem's body more closely. What do they find?
At first glance, there were maybe some faint, vague marks on his neck. Nothing definitive. But then during a much closer look, they find it.
Find what?
Something tiny. Almost missed. A very thin thread right near his throat.
A thread, like from clothing.
Possibly. But that tiny piece of fiber, combined with the washed face, the clean shirt, it solidified the doctor's suspicions. It wasn't just unnatural. This was homicide. Someone had strangled Kareem.
So the investigation immediately focuses on Ahmed, the brother who brought him in.
Naturally. He gives his story. He was at the cafe, got the frantic call, rushed home, found Kareem desperately ill, raced him to the hospital. He even explains why Bashar stayed behind the young kids. It sounds plausible, right? If you assume a natural illness.
It holds together on the surface.
But then comes the moment that changes everything for the investigators. They inform Ahmed that because of the suspicious circumstances, Kareem's body is being sent for a full autopsy.
And how does Ahmed react?
His whole demeanor just collapses. The report says he looked utterly confused, profoundly shocked, like the idea of forensic scrutiny had never even crossed his mind.
That reaction must have pinged huge warning signals for the investigator.
Absolutely. That shock, especially after his seemingly coherent story, made them dig much deeper into his alibi, into why he was at that cafe in the first place.
So they talked to the friends he was with.
Yes. And the friends confirm the timeline, the call, the rush, everything. But they add this one really unusual detail.
What was it?
Ahmed had specifically invited them out that night. And he insisted they stay out late, which, they said, was completely out of character for him. His routine was always work, then straight home by 6 or 7 p.m.
So him being out late at the cafe wasn't spontaneous, it was planned.
It suggests it was pre-planned, a deliberate deviation from his norm. It started looking less like a casual night out and more like,
well,
constructing an alibi.
Okay, so the unusual night out, his shock about the autopsy, it paints a picture. But the autopsy itself must have been the key.
It was the key that unlocked the entire horrific truth. The medical examiner's report was devastating.
What did it confirm?
First, Kareem did have a significant amount of poison in his system. Rat poison. specifically. They found it in food residue, something like gâteau or cake.
So Bashar's story about him being sick was technically true. He was poisoned.
He was, but here's the dark, almost unbelievable twist.
Mm.
That poison, it wasn't what killed him.
Wait, what? He was poisoned but died of something else.
Correct. The poison hadn't worked fast enough, or maybe it wasn't a lethal enough dose on its own. The actual definitive cause of death was strangulation.
So the thread they found.
Exactly. And the ME determined it wasn't done by hand that usually leaves much clearer bruising. This was strangulation using something like a piece of cloth, pulled hard from both sides. It minimizes the marks, makes it harder to spot.
Pulls from both sides, that implies.
It implies more than one person. This is a premeditated murder, carried out inside the home, and the strangulation suggests a desperate, perhaps unplanned escalation when the poison failed.
So now the focus has to swing sharply towards Bashayer, the wife, and her connection to Ahmed.
Absolutely. Investigators pull surveillance footage from around the family home, and it starts connecting the dots.
What does the footage show?
At 4 p.m., hours before Kareem even got home from work, Bashayer is seen buying gâteau from a local bakery.
The delivery system for the poison.
Seems likely. But then, the really crucial footage, it shows Ahmed, the older brother, arriving at the house at 5:00 p.m.
When he was supposed to be heading home from work or getting ready to go out.
Exactly. He goes inside, stays for only about 15 minutes, leaves at 5:15 p.m., and then heads to the cafe, arriving around 6:00 p.m. to meet his friends and start building that alibi.
That 5:00 p.m. visit is completely outside his normal routine. It's the missing link.
It's critical.
Yeah.
It places him at the scene shortly after the cake was bought. What was he doing there? Delivering something, coordinating. While Bashayer is brought in and they note she's eerily composed, but her eyes keep darting around, they check her phone.
And the phone reveals the motive.
It reveals the relationship, text messages, lots of them. They uncover what the reports call an unnatural relationship between Bashayer and Ahmed.
Yeah.
Way beyond normal brother-in-law, sister-in-law interactions.
True, fair.
The messages strongly indicated an affair. So now you have motive, opportunity, the suspicious meeting, the failed poisoning, the strangulation. All the pieces are falling into place.
But Bashayer is still denying everything, despite the evidence piling up.
She is. She
Love
has
that.
no prior criminal record. She's maintaining her composure, however fragile. So the investigators decide to take a gamble. A big one.
What do?
They bluff. They tell Bashayer flat out, Ahmed confessed. He told us everything.
Risky. What if she called their bluff?
It was high risk, yeah. But they must have sensed the dynamic from the texts, and it worked. Instantly. Her
Yeah.
composure just shattered.
Did you break?
Completely. She confesses, but she tries to shift the ultimate blame. She admits, yes, I put the poison in his food. But then she adds, the one who actually killed him, the one who strangled him, that was Ahmed.
Wow. So she admits her part, but throws him under the bus for the final act.
Some crucially, she confirms Ahmed brought her the rat poison during that 5:00 p.m. visit. Her confession lines up perfectly with the surveillance footage.
This is just staggering betrayal. Why go this far? What murder? To understand that, we probably need to go back further, right?
I do. Let's rewind about 5 years to 2019. That's when Kareem marries Bashayer. Even back then, there were whispers, apparently, that she could be troublesome. Kareem goes to work abroad, standard practice for many, visiting home maybe once a year. He's working hard, sending money back.
But while he's away,
Bashayer's attention starts shifting towards Ahmed, the brother who stayed home, who was building businesses, who seemed wealthier, more successful, more powerful within the family structure.
so she saw Ahmed as the better prospect.
It appears so. Then, about 8 months before the murder, both brothers are back living in Egypt full-time. Ahmed is seen as entrepreneurial, ambitious. Kareem is described as more cautious. Bashayer clearly starts comparing them, and Kareem comes up short in her eyes.
And the affair starts soon after.
About 6 months before the murder. Bashayer apparently initiates it. The report suggests she lures Ahmed in, maybe pretending she needs advice about her marriage problems with Kareem.
But it quickly becomes more than just talking.
Much more. It escalates into a full-blown physical affair. And the detail here is just chillingly audacious. It often happened in Kareem's own bed while he was out working. It became like a daily thing for them.
Unbelievable. And then the talk turns to murder.
After about 2 months of the affair, Bashayer decides Kareem has to go. Her goal: get rid of Kareem, marry Ahmed, the successful uncle.
Did Ahmed resist, or was he complicit from the start?
He was deeply complicit. About 3 months into the affair, he apparently confessed his own feelings to Bashayer, deep jealousy of Kareem, desire for her. He apparently said things like he wished Kareem wasn't around. It wasn't just her idea, it became a mutual conspiracy.
Fueled by her greed and his resentment. Jealousy masked as brotherly concern.
Precisely. A toxic combination that festered for months.
Okay, so let's piece together that final night, knowing all this backstory.
Right. The initial plan was relatively simple, relying entirely on the poison. Ahmed needed that watertight alibi, hence the elaborate setup with his friends at the cafe.
So Bashar buys the gâteau at 4 p.m.
Ahmed delivers the rat poison at 5 p.m. during that secret visit.
Kareem comes home around 6 p.m., completely unsuspecting. He even brings his own gâteau, maybe for the family to share.
Yeah, the tragic irony. Bashar takes both cakes into the kitchen, presumably mixes the poison into the portion meant for Kareem.
Kareem eats it, goes to the bedroom, and then maybe 15 minutes later.
The agony starts. Intense stomach pains. Bashar, probably panicking but trying to stick to the plan, locks the two small children in their room, maybe to shield them, maybe just to keep them out of the way.
But the poison isn't working as planned.
I'm not fast enough. Not lethal enough.
Yeah.
30 minutes pass. Kareem is still alive, suffering horribly. The plan is failing catastrophically.
So Bashar makes the call.
She calls Ahmed at the cafe. He's nearby with his witnesses. He rushes back to the house, leaving his friends waiting downstairs. He goes inside, sees the situation, Kareem alive. The poison plan, a disaster.
And he makes a split-second decision.
A fatal one. He realizes they can't wait. They can't risk Kareem recovering or someone else discovering him like this. He has to end it now. He demands Bashar give him a piece of cloth.
This is it. The point of no return.
The absolute point of no return. He wraps the cloth around his own brother's neck. The report includes this detail. Kareem looks up at Ahmed, his older brother, confused, likely expecting help.
Oh, God. Expecting help and instead...
Instead, Ahmed and Bashar stand on opposite sides and pull. They tighten the cloth until Kareem stops breathing, until he's dead, right there, at the hands of his wife and the brother he trusted.
That image, Kareem looking up at Ahmed, that's horrifying.
It's the core of the betrayal.
Yeah.
Ahmed then immediately shifts gears. He has to salvage the situation, make it look like a desperate rush to save Kareem. He stages the scene, carries Kareem's body out to his waiting friends, plays the distraught brother all the way to the hospital.
Almost got away with it.
Almost. But the washed face, the thread, the autopsy, the surveillance, the texts, and ultimately Bashar's confession. It all came together. Ahmed denied it later, during formal interrogation, but the evidence was overwhelming.
What happened to them?
The court found both Ahmed and Bashar guilty of premeditated murder. Both were sentenced to death.
Such a senseless waste. You look at Kareem. He clearly looked up to Ahmed, saw him as a role model, the successful older brother. He had absolutely no idea about the hatred, the jealousy brewing beneath the surface.
None at all. And Bashar, she threw everything away. Her husband's life, her own freedom, her children's future. All for what? An illusion of wealth with Ahmed. Money that became completely meaningless the moment they were caught.
It's just worthless.
And maybe that's the thing to really think about here. As we wrap up this deep dive, the most chilling part isn't just the murder itself, but how quickly that switch flipped. How greed, jealousy, that toxic mix of resentment and misplaced desire turned someone seen as a protective figure, an older brother, into a killer in that moment of panic.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How well can you ever truly know someone's heart, the secret resentments they might carry, especially those you trust the most? It's something to really consider after hearing about this devastating betrayal.